okay, whatever, you know, we did it, it's done, you know, whatever. So between having to pay for a hotel, the towing, the radiator, it was a lot of money. So we're like, all right, let's move on, let's keep pushing and you know, get through. So we get back on the road after getting the radiator replaced. Then it started leaking again. And it's leaking and it's leaking and it's getting worse and worse. And we're like, what the hell? But we're just trying to.
This out.
Yeah, we're trying to make it back. It was the time that we was planning to go back to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, no, let's just try to make it home to Florida and we'll put the truck in the shop again as soon as we get to Florida, right? So this the radiator is leaking a lot by then. So we get to Florida, take the truck to Freightliner, you know, to do preventative maintenance, and then, you know, we told them about, you know, the leaking situation. They checked the radiator and they said, oh, that radiator is damaged and it was not installed properly, so we have to replace it, and it's going to cost you $5,000 to replace the radiator. And we was just
plus
like,
labor and services.
we was like, no, like I when
so
I
do those
said
numbers.
that,
Do those numbers she said. So now, yeah, it's close to like 15,000.
yeah.
Right around 15,000 between them numbers she spoke.
Yeah.
10 to 15.
So we're like, well, it needs to be replaced, and we're like, we just got it. It's like it's less than 2 weeks, you know, it's brand new. It was so frustrating. So anyways, they ended up, you know, replacing it. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, not replace it? You know what I mean? So they ended up replacing it. You know, did the preventative maintenance. It took them about a week to do all of that. So, you know, we get it done. we get it done. We went pick it up, drive it to the truck stop in Florida where we used to keep our truck there. Drive to the truck stop. We park the truck, and then Seneca, tell them what happened after that.
Oh, somebody hit the truck. Somebody hit the truck at the truck stop, like in the middle of the night. We investigated, saw it on camera, but we couldn't prove that the guy hit it. But according to the guy who worked at the truck stop, he said that particular area, nobody has parked next to your vehicle in days. So this one vehicle, the only vehicle that parked next to us within that time frame, parked next to us, and when we show up at the truck, it's all this damage on the side of the vehicle. Not one of the I forgot the name. It was like a wing. I don't know what it's called. I forgot, but it's like the side piece on the truck. So it got damaged to the point where I had to take it off because it was flapping. It was unserviceable at that point. So, and when we look at the guy who was parked next to us, his trailer had damage on it, right in the same area where our damage was. Like, it was parallel to our truck. So I'm just like, man, like, what else?
Yeah, so all of this happened, you know, one thing right after another, and we was actually, you know, like getting ready to get back on the road. Let me remind you, we have just come back to Florida, got rid of everything. We're getting ready to go back on the road and just be out there with no home now. And then that happened to the truck. It was so frustrating. So, you know, the guy was not there in the truck. His truck was parked there, but he was not there. All the damage on his trailer is on the same area that our truck and everything. There's still blue paint from our truck next to his trailer. And I'm like, he did it. Like, he's the one that did it. So we're going to the store, and then we asked them to look at the security cameras. So we did, and you can see him, you know, struggling to get into the parking lot. It was like 1 a.m.
It took this man
It took him like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know.
15 to 20 minutes to park in that spot because it was so tight.
Yeah.
And it was the reason why people didn't park next to us, because it was difficult to get in that spot.
Yeah, it was a really tight.
And he forced it in there. That hit our vehicle
with his trailer.
With his trailer,
yeah.
But on the camera, it was nighttime, so he had his lights on, and the lights were pointed towards the camera, so it blinded the area where you could see if he hit it at that time.
Yeah.
The lights it blinded the camera, so we couldn't really prove it.
So everything is still, you know, pending. You know, there is ways to prove it that he did it. It's just going to take, you know, the insurance doing some investigation
to do their
job. Like the what?
So to do their job.
To do their job, yeah. The store the owner of the store, he looked at all of the cameras from every single night that our truck had been parked there to see if any other trailers had parked there before or any other trucks. Nobody had parked on that spot, the days that we had our truck there, except for this driver. So, we told that, the insurance and all of that, so they can use all of that. And then we have just got our truck from Freightliner.
From the
Freightliner, backing us up that our truck didn't have no damage at all.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, you can look up our, the logs, the driving logs, and see that the truck went straight from Freightliner to the truck stop. So they're still investigating, it's still pending. So we're just waiting for the insurance to do their job and all of that. But yeah, so all of these things happen, one right after another, and it's like,
yeah, to pay the cost to be the boss, baby.
Yeah, that's when you know that you're the boss, when you gotta pay all this money.
Can't call nobody.
No.
Like, you gotta deal with everything that comes with it.
I know.
So it ain't always sunny days.
No.
It's gonna be some cloudy days too.
Yeah, and we have had plenty of those.
We had a lot of cloudy days.
A lot of cloudy days. So when you see, like some people like on YouTube and stuff, glorifying trucking, and I'm in Vegas making all this money with my truck and this and that. I'm not saying that they're lying. I'm just saying that the reality of trucking is a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is raw trucking right here. This conversation is is our story with trucking so far, our experience with trucking so far. That somebody else's experience has been different than us. I hope it has been better than us. I really do, because this will test everything. This will test you in every single possible way to make you decide that if you want to continue with the trucking or not.
Mm-hmm.
And there has been those moments where like, I think for me, the point where I was just like, oh my God, like, did we do the right thing? It was like after the guy hit our truck, I was just so done, after the breakdown and the radiator, the this, the that, and then this happened, with the truck, and I was just like, Jesus, like, what else is it gonna happen,
Yeah.
But Seneca's really good at pulling me back from frustration and all of that. So he was like, it's just about it's just been bad situations, but that's.
The truth is,
the
truth is, we're not in the negatives.
We're not on the negatives.
As far as like
yeah.
our routes that we ran and how much money obviously we got to pay back what we need to pay back,
yeah.
But as far as like running routes, we're not in the negatives. We still be in the plus side, the positive side.
Yeah.
As far as like net income for every run that we make.
Yeah, we still.
So as long as we can still make progress and get money after we pay for everything, still winning.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes unexpected events happen in trucking, and it can mess your flow up.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what happened to us, with the last month, going back to saying that we made $26,000, and, we was happy thinking that we was going to, keep a lot of that money.
Projected like 15.
Yeah, and yeah, we was thinking like 15,000, great, we'll pay off one of the credit cards. So, and yeah, that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
We literally, out of those $26,000, we ended up making like $5,000. That's how much we ended up keeping.
But the guy loves. They are giving us a reimbursing us for the improper installation of that radiator. So they're giving us $4,500 back, because we had to spend $5,000 in Freightliner for them to fix it.
Yeah.
And Love's gonna give us $4,500 of it.
Yeah, because $500 was for the preventative maintenance.
Yeah, change the fluids
trucks.
and all of that.
So I called Love's. I told them what had happened. I sent them, all of the receipts from Freightliner, showing how much we had to pay to get that radiator replaced again. And they said, yeah, we're going to refund you for all of that. So there's refunding us $4,500 actually.
So we getting it back, but at the time, when we got back, from that particular run, I did the numbers. It was 26,000. At that time, it was like 10,000, and then we had to swipe the card again.
I know.
And put another 5,000.
It was painful, guys.
It was
So painful. I'm looking at Seneca like do something. Why do they have to replace the radiator again?
I'm like, all I could do, my job is just to point out what's wrong with it. My job really is to say, hey, this is wrong.
Yeah.
And I take it to the mechanic. That's what the driver responsibility is. I can't fix it.
I know. And it goes back to saying, with all of these things happening, if we wouldn't have had the money, cash, to pay for the second time, or the credit cards, or the credit to pay for that, like what do you do? At that point, just park your truck, leave your truck there because you can't replace the radiator for a second time within a 2-week span, and spend $10,000, like for 2 different radiators.
That was really $10,000 between tow truck, the first time the radiator went in, and the second radiator. Yeah, that was about.
It was about $10,000.
$10,000.
In less than 2 weeks that we had to come up with that money.
On top of the fuel that we spent when we was out there, so that's another $10,000 or whatever. I don't know the numbers, but
I don't even like
still a lot of
looking
numbers.
at those the fuel numbers. It's so depressing.
Fuel numbers be crazy.
Yeah. So it was, like I said, when you hear people saying, I make all this money. Yeah, you can make crazy money in trucking. I agree with that 100%. That you can keep all of that money. That's a whole different story.
People be talking when they winning.
Talk about when you're losing.
They be puffing their chest up when they win. They be on YouTube talking crazy, especially during the pandemic. The market was hot then. Yeah. Every other video was, I made $20,000. I made $15,000 this week. Yeah. I made 5,000 box trucking. Everybody had a big mouth during the pandemic, and when things changed, it was silence. Number crickets. and all the videos became complaints. Because what we're talking about is really what was happening out there.
Yeah. And that's all you hear now is just complain.
Everybody was talking.
Yeah.
Everybody got a big mouth when they winning.
Yeah. And it's
a real owner, they talking when they losing too.
Yeah, it's just being honest. Like for our YouTube channel, I want nothing but transparency and honesty, because I don't gain anything from lying about anything. This is the raw reality. This is our reality. This is our life. Both of us here in this truck, this is our life. This is all we have at the moment right here. Mm-hmm. And this is the reality. If you want to be the boss, you're going to pay. You're going to suffer like a boss, and you're going to pay the boss price to be a boss.
You're going to have that boss headache.
You're going to have that boss headache. Yeah, that it has its benefits, yes. Because there's a lot of things that you can do, when you're running your own business. You're not forced to do things you don't want to do. Yes, you have that benefit. You have benefits of, you can take time off whenever you want. Just understand that you ain't making no money, and you better have the money to pay them business insurance and all of that stuff, because you're the boss, baby. That
business insurance.
And being the boss comes with a lot of headaches, a lot of, suffering sometimes. I remember, one point we, coming from California, we took a load over there coming back.
Stay in Cali.
We got stuck over there with a whole crazy situation. No lie, we went a day and a half without eating anything because we didn't have food with us in the truck. We had crackers and water. It's all we had.
Crackers and water.
We had no food. A day and a half, we got stuck over there handling a situation that we put ourselves into. And, we went to bed hungry. I remember, that night came and Seneca's looking at me like, are we going to eat? I'm like starving.
You got to tell him what happened.
I will. I'm like, he was like, I'm starving. I'm like, baby, there is no food. We tried ordering from DoorDash. There was no DoorDash service in that area. So, we just went to bed hungry. He's looking at me like, I'm starving. I'm like, just don't think about food. Drink some water. Don't think about food. Just come to bed. Let's go to sleep.
For some odd reason, it worked.
It worked.
I was like, maybe if I don't think about food but in this dire situation, I won't be hungry.
But you know that comes with like being the boss. You know things like that. That situations that you put yourself into, and you gotta handle them. So you know, talking about that situation, Seneca, tell them what happened there. Why did we get
Oh
stuck
yeah,
there?
my tandems in California, they have a law with these with the trailers, any type of trailer. Um,
I thought it was only flatbed. I could be
no,
wrong.
it's everybody.
Okay.
Everybody in California have their tandems on their trailers set a certain way. The rule is 41 feet from your kingpin to your last tandem, or the middle section of your last tandems. It has to be 41 feet.
Okay.
I had my tandem stretched out. I'm like 45 feet or something, 46 feet. And DOT was telling me that, well, you can't drive on California roads, you know, at 46 feet. Problem was, I had a load.
We got pulled into a way station.
Yeah, we got pulled into a way station.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, so DOT told me I couldn't leave or drive on California California highway unless I fixed the problem. I'm like, yeah, it's an easy fix, but I have a load, and that load was like 35,000 pounds. And on the side of the step deck, it say, if you're gonna move these tandems, it has to be empty. So I'm sitting here like, man, I'm gonna move these tandems. So, you know, I'm trying to move them. They're not budging. This is like a simple thing to do on a dry van. You can have a load and still move the tandem. So this was my first experience where I couldn't move the tandems to get them at 41 feet, get them to the regulation. So yeah, so we sat there all night fighting with the truck, well, me in particular, fighting with the truck, trying to get these tandems to move, and they would not budge because it was a load on it that was like 30,000+ pounds on it. So, and DOT was looking at me like, the DOT officer, he's looking at me like, well, I guess you're gonna be here all night.
You better fix that.
You can't drive on these highways. And I'm sitting here like, I'm starting to think of all these stupid rules. I'm thinking of everything that's irrelevant to the situation. Like, what's wrong with California? Why they gotta be like this? And, you know, none of these things, none of these thoughts is gonna solve the problem. So I just kept working on it, come to the conclusion that I can't do it. So we had to call a mechanic. The mechanic was out there for like 3-4 hours trying to move these tandems. He couldn't move them. It's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
He said that the load was too heavy.
It was.
To move
the instructions on the side of the step deck said, you open up the box, it has to be empty.
Yeah.
So I knew what was wrong with it, but I was trying to force it. I wanted to force the situation because we was, you know, kind of screwed.
And we had a load that we had it to delivery in, where was it? It was in Utah. Yeah, we was taking a load to Utah, and it had it to be there whatever day. So we had enough time to get there, but now we're stuck here.
Wasting time.
Yeah.
We were stuck at a
way station.
At a way station, you know, for like the whole night, the whole evening actually. Let me say the whole.
No, we got there like it was before night, and then so the whole.
The sun just started to go down. Yeah, it was like it was like 7 o'clock that night.
So we got on the road in California, and then we got stuck in traffic. We were stuck in traffic for about 5 hours. So we finally, you know, like we're like, can't get out of the traffic to go eat something. We're just trying to get out of the traffic. So we haven't eaten all day because we, you know, got up in the morning, got unloaded, got this load, got back on the road, and now we got stuck in traffic. We're trying to get out of the traffic, stop for the day, and then get something to eat, right? We had nothing in the truck other than crackers and water. We get out of the traffic. Right when we get out of the traffic, there was a way station right there, and they pulled us right in.
Come on in.
Come on in, and we're like, no, like, oh my God.
I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like,
we had everything,
it ain't nothing,
right?
man.
Like paperwork.
We pass these all the time.
Everything, like, you know, we had everything except for that situation.
Those tandems.
Yeah, so
that's all he had on us.
That's all he had on us. And then, so that mechanic, he tried for like 4 hours. By then it was what, like 3, 4 in the morning.
The sun was getting ready to come up
Yeah,
again.
he's out there trying and trying.
Yeah.
I'm like dead tired, just sitting there waiting and waiting.
We fought that whole night.
Yeah,
with
so
the truck.
the mechanic, he couldn't get it. Like he gave up, and he's like, I'm sorry, I can't fix it. I don't know how to do it. Even though he said he knew, how to do it when I called him.
I mean, the thing is, he knew how to do it. I knew how to do it. We just couldn't do it because the load was on the truck,
heavy.
and the way the truck is built.
Yeah.
The only way you can move the tandems if it's nothing on it. That's how it's designed. So yeah, it ain't. I won't blame it on the mechanic. It just it was on us. It was us.
Yeah.
We didn't know the rules in California.
Yeah,
So.
they was told. That was like, I take full responsibility for that because I'm the one that usually tries to keep with all of the regulations. Obviously Seneca knows, what he needs to be doing out here, but things like that, I try to keep up with those, things with regulations and things like that. And something told me when we was on our way to California, because I know they have their real rules and things and all of that, to like go back to the FMCSA and review some of that stuff. And it was like in the back of my mind, but for some reason I got busy doing other things and this and that, and I never got to it. So that was like all on me 100%. So now we're stuck there at the weigh station. Mechanic couldn't do nothing. By then it's like, the sun is about to come out again. And then so we was like, all right. So he left. He's like, I can't do it, I'm sorry. He charged us,
But pay me.
but pay, I can't do it, but pay me. I'm like, oh my God, what am I paying you for? Anyways, we pay him. He left. We went to bed for like maybe an hour.
About an hour or two.
Yeah, like an hour or two. Like I didn't even sleep at all. I knew Seneca had it to drive the next day, and I was like, no, go to sleep. I'll just like, sit here and see what we're gonna do when we get up. So he went to sleep for a little bit. We got up in the morning, like a couple hours. We got up, and then Seneca called, and we started calling mechanics again. I called some. They, didn't answer the phone. They were too far away, whatever. Seneca found one that he called, and then the mechanic got there within like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was this really nice, friendly Hispanic guy.
I knew he was gonna get it down there.
When
Mexican dude showed up.
we saw a Hispanic guy, we was like, oh, they're really good with their hands. He knows what he's doing.
Mexican, kind of old school. I'm like,
yeah, he was like an older
he
guy.
good with his hands.
When I saw him, I felt so.
We about to get up out of here. Mexican guy showed up.
Yeah, like literally, that was the feeling that I got with that gentleman. I was so happy that he was there. So we told him what with that we needed to do or whatever. He looked at the trailer, got under, like he crawled under, got under, and he was like, "Oh, it's an electrical problem that you have. Actually, your pin, whatever, it's stuck." And we was like, "What? Huh?"
Yeah, I got up under. He showed me, so told me what he was gonna do. So
he went under, did what he needed to do. It took him like less than 20 minutes, and he's like, "There you go. Now you can move your tendons." Like less than 20 minutes, and he was done.
We tipped him.
Yeah, I know. I was
we
like,
gave him a tip after that because he don't understand the headache that we went through the night before.
And so I was so grateful, that he came to help us. He was getting ready to leave, and I'm like chasing his truck. I'm like, here, I just want to give you a tip because you saved us. And he looked at me like, huh? I was like, no, I'm just so grateful. Thank you. And he was like, okay. But it was like, oh my God, like it was such a headache. That was all on us. Like I can't even say that, that was all on us. All on me, basically.
Not checking your regulations can hurt you out here.
Yeah.
Even if you're a company driver, like you got to know the regulations of these states and these tandems. Yeah, I know it's petty. Trust me, it's very petty. But it's their rules.
And so
forget it. Just follow it.
Just follow them. So that night, between the two mechanics, we ended up spending about $600 because we had to pay the first one to do nothing, and we had to pay the second one to actually, fix whatever he needed to fix to move the tendons. So we ended up spending about $600 right there again.
Just to move the tendons.
Just to move the tendons. We got on that truck in the morning. It was morning by then. It was like 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
We got in that truck, and I was just like, we was not even saying
You
no
said,
word.
I was like, you want to stop at the truck stop and get something to eat? You said, no. Just get me out of California. I said, say no more.
I was so, like, not getting any sleep. We didn't eat nothing
Just
the
get me
day
out of
before.
California.
Yeah, he was like, you sure? Like, there is a truck stop, like this many
We need
miles.
something to eat.
I'm like, no, baby, just get us out of flipping California. Like,
Remember-
we'll get something in another state.
Remember, we didn't eat the day before either. Like in the
Nothing.
evening,
Yeah.
we didn't even really eat. So
Yeah.
it was like that whole day I drove to Vegas.
Yeah, so we stopped in
Drove
Vegas.
straight to Vegas
Yeah.
from California.
Yeah, that's where we stopped in Vegas to get food.
Then we got something to eat.
Yeah.
And it was
So
like
we-
12 noon or something.
Yeah, so we went that whole day, the day before, all of that night, and half of the next day without eating absolutely nothing. Like literally, we had crackers and water. That's all we had.
She told me the key. She said, don't think about hunger. You won't be hungry. So that's what I did.
I said, if you don't think about food, you're not gonna be hungry. He looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, but I am hungry. I said, I know, baby, just don't think about it.
My stomach said otherwise. My stomach was like, man, what you talking about? I was like, don't worry about it, man. We get some food later.
Oh my goodness. But that was, you're the boss. Remember, you're the boss.
You gotta pay the cost, man.
So you gotta handle things
Now,
like
a company driver could have made a phone call to
Yeah.
this person,
Yep.
his dispatcher, his fleet manager. Got a lot of things situated. Matter of fact, that night it was a Walmart truck. They got pulled in
Yep.
because their load was too heavy.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, an hour later, another truck showed up and cross-loaded some of the merchandise and equipment to another trailer.
They came in with a forklift.
And they had a forklift
Yeah.
from another company.
Yeah.
So when you're a company driver, you could do things like
Yeah.
that. When you're own operator, you just on your own.
It's
You can't
all
call
on
another
you.
truck. Hey, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I need another truck. Bring a forklift. Blah blah blah, and you be out of there in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Not own operator.
It was
You gotta figure it
crazy.
out.
And that all of that stuff was like so crazy that all of that happened. But hey, you wanted to be the boss.
I like it.
You like it. If you like it, I love it.
It's better than the supervisor standing above my shoulder telling me to hurry up,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna stay longer.
that is true.
Hurry up, and you're gonna stay longer. or their favorite is, well, you'll make double time if you work, tomorrow on Sunday. Would you like double time? Yeah, you wanna work on Christmas?
Oh my God.
You wanna work on Christmas, don't you?
You're gonna make a lot of money if you do.
You get holiday pay and you get double time.
Yeah, that
I'm
is-
looking at this guy like, man, just shut up. But I do it.
But I'll do it because I need the money.
'Cause I need the money.
And that's how they get you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a wild ride for us so far. That we regret anything, I don't. Do you? I don't regret doing it. I don't
Never.
regret investing in trucking. We're doing this for the long run. We're not, we're not quitters. We're not gonna quit. We're gonna keep, trying to make money and make a living out of it. That's, for us, that's what it is. And it's different for everybody. It's gonna be different for everybody. Your situation is not our situation. Our situation is not yours. So it's gonna be different for everybody. But you gotta do what works for you. We didn't want to work for other people anymore. We just wanted to do something where we had more freedom to go see our kids. Go see our children, spend time with the family, and we wanted to do it whenever we want to do it. We don't want to have to be asking, oh, can I take, this week off? Can I do this? No, we just wanted to be able to do it however we wanted to do it. And for us, that was like the main thing. It was that, like I said, we have kids. They live in different states in a different country. So we have to be able to, go over there to see them and spend time with them when we want to see them. It's easier for us to do that than it is for them to come, all here. So just having the freedom to do that, like for us, it's priceless. We're all about family. We're all about our kids, our marriage, our relationship, and all of that. Like that's all that matters to us at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
just being able to do things on your own terms. That's just remember it comes with a price, and the price can be very high sometimes. So that's all I can say. Do you have anything else you want to say? Any advice for, I don't know, the young truck drivers out there driving, dating life, things like
Yeah.
that?
Dating.
I don't know. Any advice for the younger
The
generation out
drivers.
there? Yeah.
Stop wasting time. That's what I would say. Get serious. You wake up one day, you be 50 years old. Trying to figure out what happens to all the time.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
stay on point, stay focused. You find a niche, you hustle that thing until the wheels fall off. You find anything you're good at, hustle it to the max. And that's what I would say to the youngins.
To young people. Yeah.
Young people.
And I will say, I mean, we're not like super old, but
Young.
we're young. So Seneca's 42, I'm 44, so we're 2 years apart. But what I will say to like the younger people out there, truck drivers, stop chasing the wrong thing. Chase the money. Stop chasing these chicken head chicks out there that don't want nothing but a child support check. Find yourself a good person that wants to build something with you, somebody that is going to bring some value to your life, somebody that is going to bring something to the table other than just themselves to keep it nice and clean. So
Yeah. Find yourself a good woman. Having a bunch of chicks. To me, that's not balling. That's not a good thing to me. The good thing is when you got the one quality woman that ain't been passed around. Your homies don't know her like that, and she's exclusive to you, and y'all build something great.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's when I look at somebody and say, man, he did his thing.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
anybody got a bunch of chicken heads, little ratchet chicks running around. Anybody could do that. Guy making 30,000, guy flipping burgers is doing that.
Yeah.
He got a bunch of chicks.
Yeah, but it's all about like finding like quality people, to keep in your life. Like surround yourself with like quality people that can bring some value, some knowledge to your life. Like we're big on that. Like we don't interact with people just to interact. Like we don't connect with people just to like do this. Like we like people that can bring some value to our lives, some knowledge, something. You know what I mean? It's the only people that we associate with. So that's like the best advice that I can give anybody. Like the younger people out there, especially. Just find quality people to have around you and yours.
Yeah, and you can find yourself being around people that's unproductive, and you'll start behaving like them
you become
unconsciously.
one of them.
You're not even trying to.
Yeah.
It'll just start becoming who you are, and in the day you start hanging around quality people, you'll start to notice the old friends was not productive, or they're not able to go to the next level with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a mountain, and the higher you climb, the thinner the air gets, and everybody can't breathe the same oxygen or climb the same altitude.
Yeah.
So when you're up at a certain level, sometimes you gotta look at people like, hey, unless you're willing to climb with me, we can't spend time together. And it's
Yeah.
not even personal.
Yeah.
It's not even personal because you only live once.
Yeah, not everybody that you meet it's meant to be in your life forever, and we understand that. Some people are meant to be in your life forever. Some of them are just temporary, and that's okay, because we all, when we're young, we're learning. But if you take anything from this, take that. Surround yourself with quality people, and you're gonna have a quality life.
And build your credit.
And build your credit. That too.
Build your credit.
Very important. Yeah.
Work on yourself and surround yourself with quality people that want something out of life other than a good time.
Yeah.
Good time is when you finished, you accomplished the goal.
Yeah.
You could be in a club and it's like, been in the club many nights, you know, just to realize that, like, you know, what was I celebrating? You know, all the popping the bottles and, like, you know, you got to have some points on the board before you start popping bottles and taking trips and buying whatever it is you're gonna buy. You got to have some real legit points, some life points on the board.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about little punk promotion. They made you, you know, now you make $42,000.
Yeah.
That ain't jack when you're an adult.
Yeah.
You're still considered broke.
Yeah. See, it's funny how me and Seneca, we came from different walks of life, you know, different backgrounds, different stories. Seneca did, you know, a lot of partying back in his days, which, you know, there was nothing wrong with that, because that's what he wanted to do. He was single and all of that.
When you're in the service,
he was in the service at a really young age.
Really, it's the college life,
yeah.
But we
in
all have
military.
A job,
yeah,
and we all get the same off days,
yeah.
the same similar checks, so we all have the same vices,
yeah,
just by proximity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
we just,
that's what it is.
oh, you do this, all right,
yeah.
Let's party. You
yeah.
know, so.
I came from being a really young mom. I had my son when I was 16, so I didn't have that opportunity to be out there, you know, partying and having, you know, fun and doing all these things. You know, I had to be a mother. You know, I was a really young mom, had to take care of my child and all of that. So, you know, totally different backgrounds, but, you know, and that's okay, because when you get to a certain age and you bring those two people together, you know, you can accomplish great things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, despite me partying, I still had skill sets.
Yeah,
and it ain't like I was like, just,
no, you still
I'm broke and I'm some bum on the street. No,
you still had, you know.
I mean, you still acquire, you know, skill sets and you do things. And probably the best move I made was when I got my CDL.
Yeah.
You know, so
after the military, that was probably
after the service.
Yeah.
You know, working a bunch of regular jobs or whatever. You know, it's time to really do something.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. So this is gonna be it for today. This is gonna be a super long video. I'm gonna break it in two parts. I'll do part 1 and part 2. And this is nothing but the raw reality of trucking, starting a new business, being minorities like we are, you know, Seneca being black, you know, me being brown. This is the struggle of, you know, us minority people trying to start a business to free yourselves. You know what I mean? There is no flexing. There is no, you know, no lies, no nothing. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is our story. This is how we got to where we are today. Nothing was easy. Nothing was given to us. Everything that we have today, our equipment that we own, it came with a lot of pain and a lot of, you know, sacrifices. But we're here today and we're just trying to make a living out of it and, you know, make it work for us. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell for more videos. All right, I'm gonna start posting more often. So I'll see you guys on the next one.